This is the single most. I also went on to do a breathwork certification. This is the single most, um, I don't know, modality that has changed my work, truly, with people. And so I'm excited to share like why that is. Yeah, this is the part that I think is really exciting because I think for both coaching and therapy, we can be working on mindset, right? We can help our clients shift their mindset. We can, in therapy, we call it cognitive behavioral therapy, and coaching, we call it mindset, right? We're working on self-growth and healing and transformation, right? But when we're goal setting and mindset, and I was doing a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. I was treating a lot of OCD, that kind of thing. And so it's all, to me, it's all, that's all up here, right? And what meditation coaching and the energy practices that I learned from through Liberate and working under you and all of that, it brought it from here to here. And I watch people. I can feel it in my sessions with people and I'll even say, okay, we got to get out of our heads. We're spinning up here, right? Let's bring it down for a minute, right? And we'll pause and breathe. And everything, it just like, right? People come down into their heart and they connect with their intuition, right? And that, I think, was the powerful shift for me in my work with clients that just made everything so much more rich. We slow, it's slower, we soften. Um, there's a fair amount of like pausing to do energy work, releasing energy. And I love that part, right? And I've learned to do a lot of that for myself. And I think sometimes so much of emotions are energy held in our body. And we can talk about them all day long, but the more that we actually tell the same story and the more that we talk about the emotions, we just keep having the emotion.
You're stuck in the same energy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we can just bring that up and we can do it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when we can drop in and when we can either sit with that energy, the emotional energy, not the story, the emotional energy, we can sit with that. It can dissipate. We can release it. Right. And people will even say their skin starts to feel a little tingly. And this is the stuff that somatic therapists are doing, right? So it's a very similar kind of process, but it's like releasing that from an energetic level. And then we just no longer need to tell the story. The things
Progress.
resolve so much more quickly, really. I think I realized through our training and since then, like I would have said, people would say, how do you do this? I see 7 or 8 clients a day. I see a lot of people in the week, right? And how do you do that? I would have said, you know what, I don't really take it home. When we were doing our training, I realized I was releasing through meditation and the work we were doing 20 plus years, probably what 25 years worth of other people's emotions that had built up. My world, I would drive home and go, wow, it's just like brighter. Who turned up the bright? And I felt lighter. So that's the other thing is that as I'm doing that, there's less because I'm regulating in the session too, and I'm releasing, I feel less drained in the day, you know, than I used to. And I will often start the day like with meditation in my space. I always start my day with meditation and end my day with meditation, but it is really powerful to start it here in my office. And I find that those days tend to be more creative and intuitive. and then end the day before I go home with a releasing and energy clearing. And when I go home, I'm so much lighter. And I was doing self-care, right? And I've always done yoga every day and really take my, I take my Fridays or just my day to myself and, but there is a, it's like, it's just like everything I learned in Liberate just was like, it just was like turned it up. What I was doing, it just made it more effective. Like this just was so powerful for
Mm.
me and for my clients.